But I want to also talk about the obstacles of what is keeping us back. And again, I'm related to Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor and White Wealth. He said myth number one, integration. Blacks are totally dependent on a white majority. Integrating groups lose all self-determination since all plans and goals must be processed through and approved by the dominant society. Myth number two, equality for all. Blacks are chasing this elusive dream. Power will not relinquish its power. Number three, eradicate poverty will not happen. Number four, cultural diversity. He said this is also a fraudulent use by conservatives to dilute the black agenda. And that is something else too, where we get people who are talking about cultural diversity. We were always the ones that have to give up our culture, which we really don't have. We're just now coming into our own as far as learning who we are and what we are. And I also want to interject also in the internet now, there's so much information out here. There's no excuse for us not to know what is going on. So there's people who want to remain unconscious, there are people who want to make conscious, there's people who just don't want to do anything. So you can't waste your time with people like that. It says here, black ethnicity will only share color. We are too commonly divided to share a culture, a language, or religion. We are so, again, this is what I was talking about in reference to tribalism. We're so divided. We have not come together to really facilitate that we are African people first. We are black people. We look in the mirror, as it's been said, look in the mirror. There's nothing Asiatic about you. Most of us, I would say. We are black people from an African continent. He says here, sexism is equal to racism, white feminism with racism. So black feminism is divisive to black empowerment. We talked about criminalization of blacks, forced into servitude, color-based justice system, economic disparity is the main cause. We have to understand these things that I talked about in this book, again, Black Labor, White Wealth. Until we recognize these problems and are willing to admit that we have these problems, until we, again, want to make effective change, we cannot unite. We will not unite. And again, Marcus Garvey had the right idea. He said again, coming together, black people can pull together their resources, pull together. Everybody else does that. But again, we cannot follow the same model that the ethnic groups have. But he did give us some leeway on what we can do. The foreigners have already had theirs in place. We have to work harder to now reestablish who we are and how we get to where we need to go. And basically, again, start organizing with the people, talk to people in your family. Talk to positive people in your family. First of all, do that. Talk to your friends that want to see change. Talk to your cousins. Talk to people that you know on a limited basis. And take a look at your community. If you're not happy with it, and if you live in a poor neighborhood, then why don't you do something? Organize with your street clubs. Organize with people that can make changes. That's your first step. And then when you have a collective thought and then you have trust with each other, then you can start working toward these things. Food, clothing, and shelter are the main important things that we need in this community. Like I said, we can open up a grocery store, but if you're going to drive back past it because you think you can get a better deal somewhere, you're cheating yourself and your children. The main thing that you need to think about anything, and any business owner or anybody that wants to own a business, is that what kind of legacy are you going to leave? Is it going to be a business that you can pass on? Is it a business that you're going to try to help hire your black children or black kids to work, black men and women to work? Is it a viable business? We have also had people excel in the entertainment business, but how many of them are in your neighborhood? How many black millionaires do you know getting together to put programs together to help the community? Hardly any. you seen any? How many of them have spent enough money for a tax write-off to come to your community? See, we are always going to talk about what somebody else has done, but I also ask yourself this question: what is the hood doing for itself? What is the hood doing for itself is a big question. And what are the people in the hood trying to do? Because there's no Messiah coming out here to help you. You have to do it yourself. No Asian is going to come here and help you change your community. No Arab is going to come here in your community to make changes for you. You have to make those changes. You have to want to make the decision to hire. You must also have the decision to want to accumulate wealth. You must also want to be very competitive for yourself. And you must want to protect your community, because no Arab is going to allow you in Dearborn, Michigan to open up a shop in his neighborhood. That's a fact. You go to a tiny